Shalom, brothers and sisters, and welcome to another week of Sinaitic Light. We are engaged in a very important study this week. We want to understand why we worship Yah, why we praise Yah. Growing up as a child, I know many of us were taught to worship Jesus as God, give praise, glory, and honor to Jesus as God. We want to do this biblically. We want to do this Sinaitically. Our worship and our praise, our glory goes to the Father and Him alone. In the faith of Yeshua, in the name of Yeshua, who is our intercessor, our mediator, our conduit to God the Father. So we're going to be spending time this week understanding why it is important to praise Yah. So let's go over the objective for this week's lesson as well as the learning outcome. All right. Okay, here we go. The objective. The objective of this study is to understand why we worship Yah as the only true God, It is to understand the significance of paying tribute to Him and the necessity to venerate Him as the only sovereign power of the universe through adulation and reverence. This lesson also defines what praise and worship looks like in the economy of divine servitude from a biblical perspective, thereby removing any form of relativism in worship. In other words, the Bible will specifically define how one worships Yah according to His expectations. Let's look at the learning outcome. Upon completion of this study, the reader will understand what praise and worship means. 2, understand what spirit and truth means. 3, understand how one worships demons. Ooh, that's going to be a little touchy. 3, understand how one worships demons. We got to include that. 4, understand what happened to all the gods of biblical antiquity. Why aren't they still being worshiped today? Finally, understand where sacrifices and offerings fall in the economy of worship. Understand where sacrifices and offerings fall in the economy of worship. Monotheism. Mono, one, theism from theos, God, one God. We worship one God. We praise one God. We give all honor and glory to one God. How do we do this? And why are we doing this? Who has commanded this? These questions will be answered in this week's study. So buckle down. Make sure that you're reading and internalizing the data. I'll see you next week. May the blessings of Yah be with you. Shalom.
Hope everyone had a good week. Let's go ahead and let's start with we're in the composition part of Sinaitic Light. So let me just let me go share my screen here. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes.
Awesome. All right, here we go. Praise Yah. Can somebody start off with the introduction, please? Who raised their hand?
I think that was Sister Kenya.
All right, go for it.
Shalom, shalom.
Shalom, sister.
Sorry about that. I actually didn't raise it for that, but I intro.
Absolutely.
Give me 1 second, okay?
Okay.
Let me get my glasses. Okay. It says introduction. Most, if not all, nations have a spiritual being of some type that they praise and worship. There is a deity that most nations, civilized and uncivilized, worship, honor, and glorify. But the question is, why? Why praise? Viz. To express admiration of, commend, adulate, flatter a being whom no one has ever seen or heard. Exodus 33:20, Job 42:5, John 1:18, 1 Timothy 6:16. The answer to this question lies in gratitude.
Praise God. Thank you, sisters. So the first question is, why praise? Why do we have to praise? Why do we have to give admiration to this being? And I'm going to argue it first all starts with creation. So these are some pictures from NASA just showing just the beauty of the universe, the beauty of the cosmos, right? We're seeing these different galaxies and stars, and we're looking at these creations, and we're saying, you know, who has the ability to make this type of creation? And one would argue that the same wisdom that makes our solar system, that allows us to be in our universe, to be able to enjoy the sun and not be too hot, not be too cold, to have it just right, the same wisdom can also be given to govern our lives. So I'm going to start with a framework. I like to start with our framework, and I'm going to start. The theme of this framework is going to be in Genesis chapter 1. And this framework is going to compare and contrast the truth versus what we call chaos agents. And we're going to start with Genesis chapter 1. So who could help us with this right here, with Genesis chapter 1?
Divine creation.
I think Sister Ruby, brother Oda, I think Sister Ruby had a hand up.
You said define the first one.
Yeah, if you could read the slide for us, please.
Okay, Genesis 1:1. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Genesis 1:3. And God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. Genesis 1:4. And God saw that light was good, and God separated the light from the darkness.
I appreciate that, Sister Ruby. Sister Ruby, in Genesis chapter 1, do we see Jesus there anywhere?
Not at all.
Do we see a co-God there?
Not at all.
Do we see the Holy Spirit there?
Not at all.
All we see is God there, right?
Yes.
Okay, I'm making sure. Just keep me honest.
Okay.
And we see this God creating light, right? Light.
Right.
Remember this, and we see that this light was good. It was told it was good. And we see that God separated light from darkness. There's a separation that he's doing, right? Are you seeing all that?
Yes.
Everyone can do that? All right, just keep me honest. All right. Excellent. All right, who can help me with this slide here?
Go ahead, Sister Beverly.
It was good. Genesis 1:21. So God created the great sea creatures and every living creature that moves, with which the waters swarm according to their kinds, and every winged bird according to its kind. And God saw that it was good. Genesis 1:25. And God made the beasts of the earth according to their kinds, and the livestock according to their kinds, and everything that creeps on the ground according to its kind. And God saw that it was good.
Praise God. Thank you, sister. Excellent. So we have God creating the cosmos, God creating light. Then we see God creating now the atmospheric conditions for these beings to live in, and God creating the opportunity for these beings these creatures to live in. So we first start with the sea creatures, then we have land creatures, and then God's looking at this and saying it's good, right? And we can argue that there's a divine engineer who has the ability to make creation so that creation can live. All right? Everyone's good with that? We good?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Right. Thank you. All right. Okay, help me with this slide over here.
Go ahead, Brother Odin.
Odin, it's all you, brother Odin.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I'm gonna need some passion
All right.
this slide. This is the hook slide. I'm gonna need some passion.
All right. All right. Blessing. Genesis 1:27. So Yah created man in his own image. In the image of Yah, he created him male and female.
Hold on, brother. Hold on. This is deep. Let's slow it down. Slow it down here. So so God created. So we have a being who created the first, this divine engineer, divine designer, who's creating the cosmos, who's creating the conditions for life, who's ordering these. And you're noticing something, brothers and sisters. God saying something and it's happening. God said and it happens. God said and it's happened. Then we see here in 27, God creates humanity in his image. In his image, he created them. Okay, continue, brother Odin.
Genesis 1:28. And Elohim blessed them, and Elohim said to them, be fruitful and multiply, and fill the earth and subdue it, and have dominion over the flesh of the sea, and over the birds of the heavens, and over every living thing that moves on the earth. Genesis 1:31. And Elohim said, and Elohim saw everything that he had made, and behold, it was very good. And there was evening, and then there was morning, the sixth day.
Excellent, brother. Appreciate you. So let's go back here. Let's go back. Verse 28, brothers and sisters. God blessed them. So we have a divine being giving us divine blessing. And that divine blessings is life. So we first would argue we love him because he first loved us. He loved us by giving us life, giving us divine blessing for us to live so that we could be in his image. Then he says, be fruitful, be multiply, fill the earth with your ideas, with the beauty, subdue it. It's yours. Have dominion over the fish, the sea, right? So we see that the Most High giving us the blessing, the divine blessing of life so that we can fill the earth to reflect him. And then Elohim saw, God saw all that he created and so that it was very good, brothers and sisters. Perfect. It was good. It was beautiful. So the framework, brothers and sisters, that we're starting with the life framework, brothers and sisters. We're starting with a framework where God is giving us divine blessings for us to live. And again, it's a gift because he doesn't have to do it. He did not have to do it. Didn't have to, but he did it. It's a gift. The best gift is life. All right. All right, let's see what we have here. All right, let's continue. All right, here we go. The issue is, first of all, who can help me with this slide right here? Who can help me with this slide? I'm confused. I need some help. Who can help me with the slide here? Who can help me?
No, that's fine. So we have Yah, we have his angels and messengers, and then we have also his earthly human agents that are, that he uses to send out his message on earth also.
Excellent, brother Odin. I appreciate you, brother Odin. Thank you. So, brothers and sisters, we have Yah. You don't see Yah. You don't interact with Yah. Unseen. He's the creation of all beings, everything. And he has two sons or two forms of creation. One we call divine agents, which we would, lack a better word, call angels, right? And then we have human agents, right? Which work together to fulfill Yah's will and Yah's purpose. These beings, these agents are intelligent. They're intelligent beings. And as a result of being intelligent beings, they have the capability to make their own decisions. And at times, you would have beings, both divine and human beings, would make decisions that are not according to Yah's divine will, Yah's plans. And I'm going to submit to you, brothers and sisters, that these beings are beings that are rebellion to what the Most High is trying to do. And again, we have these beings that are rebellion, ones we can see and ones we can't see, ones that are human and ones that are divine. And these beings work together to go against the Most High's will. So we go back to the framework. What was the Most High's will? To live, to fill the earth, to subdue it, and to reflect the Most High's image on earth. So we have both divine beings and the human beings partnering together to do it, because Yah is not going to do it, but they represent Yah. But then you also have the capability of human beings and divine beings to have their own free will to choose not to do so. All right. Did I lose anybody? We good? Everyone's good?
Yes.
All right. Awesome. All right. Who can read this slide for us, please?
Sister Crystal. Go ahead, Sister Crystal.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom. Worship. When one worships a supreme being, a God, they are saying that it is because of this supreme being's grace, mercy, and compassion that they are prospering. And they want to show their appreciation by bestowing gifts and praises to them for providing for them. These acts are called worship, meaning a condition of being worthy, dignity, glory, distinction, honor, renown, hence worthyship from worth and ship, a state of merit or meriting a state. Worship is not an intangible. In its truest sense, it is not a noun. It is a verb, meaning that it is an act that is expressed by the worshiper by performing acts and deeds to show their veneration to whom they are worshiping.
Excellent, sister. Excellent. Appreciate that, Sister Crystal. So when we worship the Most High, we're saying that we are appreciative of the grace, the mercy, the compassion, the prosperity that the Most High has given us. We appreciate the life that He's given us, and we do things through action. All right, but however, as I mentioned before, there's certain creatures, because they are created, because they have free will, they have what is called a God complex, brothers and sisters. They think that they're Yah, just like this brother did in the clip that I shared with you. He thought that he's God because he can heal. He has a God complex. He's a actor. He's faking. He's sick. Something wrong with them, because they're trying to convince you that they're God, and they have a policy that's easily to understand. We can easily understand who are the chaos agents. And those who have the God complex, those who try to get you to go against what the Most High agenda is. And again, the Most High's agenda is for you to live, are those with the God complex. But my man Most Def said they just wishing. They just wishing. They just wishing. What did Most Def say? He says, I guess the last point wasn't too far off when they say that certain people got a God complex. And I believe it's true. And I agree, Brother Most Def. There's certain both divine beings as well as human beings that have a God complex that's trying to get you to go against the Most High as well. All right, and we see this with the Mesopotamian gods. We're gonna go and use their own information. So I gave you a video to show you just a brief history of these gods. And again, there's no concrete Bible that these gods have, but these gods have stories that go on and on and on. And what you'll find about these gods, their stories are kind of interesting, because their stories start with chaos, start with fighting, infighting, start with all different types of corruption. And we will argue these are false gods that come year after year, time after time, which have the God complex. For example, we talked about these, Tamat, who is actually who fought with her sons, and the sons took her body, and then with the body, they created the Milky Way and all these different things, this constant chaos energy, right? And these are the gods that are being promoted in this system. And we also talked about how, in that video, how they actually wanted humans to be their slaves in their information. They wanted humans to be slaves. Humans were created to serve them because they didn't want to do the work. So humans were created to be their slaves. So this is what paganism is about. Paganism is about conflict, chaos, and slavery. This is from their own works. This is what they wanted. Humans, they didn't want to do the work no more. And they were upset that humans making too much noise, so they want to destroy them. And we can tell who these people are. Let's look at the ethics. Let's look at their ethics. Let's hear their own stories and compare and contrast. We have Yah, who wanted us to live. Yah, who made us in his image. Yah, who wanted us to fill the earth with his image. Yet we have the pagan deities, the false gods, who want us to serve them and be their slaves, right? And look at their ethics. You have Enkill, who kills his grandfather and replaces him. Enlil, who kills his grandmother, cuts up her body. Enkill, who's promiscuous and deceitful, engaged in illicit relationships, kills humans without any just reason for making too much noise, and they fight and they kill one another. These are the gods that the world wants us to serve. This is the God, in contrast to the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, who wants you to live. That's the contrast. And the elder always says this, brothers and sisters, this is a picture of a sugarcane plantation. The whole system is trying to get all of us back to a plantation with these gods, these false gods who are not the real gods or our overseers. They're trying to get us into slavery. And that slavery comes from that spiritual and mental slavery. That's what they're trying to do. All right, who could read this slide for us?
Go ahead, Brother Byron.
Yah's will. Yah's will is that everyone who comes to acknowledge him through his truth, which is his word, which is John 17:17, will practice and live in this truth by his word. This is the form of worship that Yah desires. Jeremiah writes, "For in the day that I brought them out of the land of Egypt, I did not speak to your fathers or command them concerning burnt offerings and sacrifices. But this command I gave them, obey my voice, and I will be your God, and you shall be my people, and walk in all the way that I command you, that it may be well with you." Jeremiah 7:22-23. Worshiping Yah entails being obedient to his covenant, which is explicated in the Torah. Yah has not placed upon us the need to appease him through sacrifices and offerings. It has always been the simplicity of worshiping him through obedience of his commands.
Thank you, Brother Brian. Appreciate that. That's excellent. So Yah says, obey my voice. The same divine wisdom that was in the creation of the cosmos, in the creation of the sun and the earth and the animals, the same divine wisdom is giving us a moral ethic for us to follow. And that's how the Most High wants us to follow. And we can see this consequences if we don't follow that. And the false gods, what Moses was talking about, the people that have a God complex, they're trying to get you to violate the Most High's word, violate his precepts. And that's all they do because they're in a certain type of business. Thank you, Brother Brian, for that. You can read this slide for us, please.
Go ahead, Brother Olden.
Only true God. Yah is the only true God, and we worship him because he is worthy to be worshipped because of all that he has done for us. His creation, it is Yah who has created the heavens and the earth, and all that dwells in them. It is Yah who has provided his creatures, and humanly providing them and us with stability, prosperity, and comfort. How do we repay Yah for all that he has done, for all that he has bestowed upon us? We repay Yah by worshiping and honoring him within the confines of the covenant he revealed to his people, Israel. We show him that we are grateful for his blessings by practicing righteousness according to how he defines righteousness and shows love, compassion, and mercy to humanity. 1 John 4:20. We worship him in spirit and in truth, meaning that we do not use relics, images, locations, facilities, and items as a display of worship, but we worship him intrinsically according to his truth, which is his word. John 4:21-24.
Thank you, Brother Odin. Brother Daniel, can you reread that again, Brother Odin? We couldn't hear you that well, Brother Daniel. Can you read that again for us, please?
Absolutely. Yah is the only true Elohim, and we worship him because he is worthy to be worshipped because of all he has done for us, his creation. It is Yah who has created the heavens and the earth and all that dwells in them. It is Yah who has provided for his creatures and humanity, providing them and us with stability, prosperity, and comfort. How do we repay Yah for all that he has bestowed upon us? We repay Yah by worshiping and honoring him within the confines of the covenant he revealed to his people, Israel. We show him that we are grateful for his blessings by practicing righteousness according to how he defines righteousness and showing love, compassion, and mercy to humanity. 1 John 4:20. We worship him in spirit and in truth, meaning that we do not use relics, images, locations, facilities, and items as a display of worship, but we worship him in intrinsically according to his truth, which is his word. John 4:21-24.
Thank you, brother. So let's go back. We go back to the beginning. Remember, brothers and sisters, we saw God and we saw his word, right? Let there be, and it was, right? And then what happens when we go against his word, that's when we have problems. All we're doing here is to get back to us to Genesis chapter 1, where he said it was good. That's all we're doing here, brothers and sisters, getting back to life. Because Yah's initial purpose for us was us to live, not like the chaos agents who want us to be in slavery, who has these weird ethics, who has these weird ideologies. Yah just wants us to obey his word, his truth, his covenant, as he gave to the children of Israel. All right, so Mos Def got it. I don't know, he's been reading the Bible. Right, Mos Def says, and in hip hop, we won't get better until the people get better. Then how do the people get better, he asks. Well, from my understanding, people get better when they start to understand that they are valuable. And they're not valuable because they have a whole lot of money or because somebody think they're sexy, but they're valuable because they've been created by God. Mos Def, you got it, brother. And God makes you valuable. And whether or not you recognize that value is one thing, and that's what the chaos agents don't want you to do. My brother Mos Def got it. Like he read chapter 1 from Genesis. Brother Mos Def said, listen, brothers and sisters, your value don't come from your money, don't come from how you look, don't come from anything, but your value comes from the fact that you're created by God so that you can image him. That's where your value comes from. This unseen being so that you can image him. And this unseen being, unlike these false gods, is mysterious. Yah reveals himself through his word, through his covenant, and through how he acts towards his people and the world. That's how he reveals himself. So you said, Mos Def says you're valuable because you're created by God. That makes you valuable. And the chaos agents don't want you to get that connection. They're trying to remove that connection. Because once you keep that connection, you'll understand that the only way you can move in that value is for you to keep the Most High's word. All right. Again, the same wisdom, the same divine wisdom that created the cosmos gives the divine wisdom to govern our lives. The same awe we have with the moon, the star, the galaxies, the solar system, the same awe we should have with the Torah, the instructions, divine work that's needed for us to live a life that gives us a life of life, right? Because I would argue that the Torah is meant for us to live. Here we go. All right. Let's see what this sister Alicia Miles, what does she say? She says, Who can help me with this slide? Who can help me with this slide? What the sister's talking about? I gave this as a video for you too. These people, these artists are learning something. Who got me on
Go
this
ahead,
one?
Sister Kenya. Sister Kenya, you here?
Oh, I'm sorry, I was muted. Sorry
Okay,
about
no
that.
problem. No problem. Go right ahead.
Okay. All right. It says, I want to thank you, Heavenly Father, for shining your light on me. I know it could not happen without your love. Oh, without your love, oh.
There you go. Thank you, sister. So, Sister Myers is looking at him. He said, wait a minute. I want to thank you, Heavenly Father, for shining. So she's praising the Most High because she's going back to the goodness that Yah has given to her. And she's realizing, wait a minute, Yah loved her first. So that love is being returned again. And we get that love by obeying the Torah. Here we go. Who could read the slide for us, please?
I want to hear from Sister Wanda Spellman. Sister Wanda. You might be muted, sister, if you're talking. Sister Wanda, are you here?
She was here. I don't know what happened.
We'll give a couple more seconds.
I think she's speaking, sister. We can't hear you though.
Is this Sister Wanda's first week?
It is.
Okay, yeah, we definitely got to hear from Sister Wanda.
All right, sister. When you come back off, you get your when you can speak. It'll be, let us know, and we'll get you next time. Who else can read this live for us?
Go ahead, Brother Mike.
Yeah, Brother Mike.
All right, shalom.
Shalom, brother.
Success and survival. In biblical antiquity, the Israelites worshiped Yah. Exodus 23, 34, 14, Deuteronomy 5, 11, 6, 13 through 14, 10, 20, 11, 22, 13, 4, and Matthew 4, 10. The Egyptians worshipped an array of gods. Exodus 12, 12. The Sidonians worshipped Ashtaroth. 1 Kings 11, 5. The Ammonites worship Milcom, 1 Kings 11 and 5. The Moabites worship Shamash, 1 Kings 11:33. The Babylonians worship Sukkoth Benoth. The men of Cuth worship Nergal. The men of Hamath worship Ashima. And the Advites worship Nibhaz and Tartak. The Sepharvites worship Adramelech and Anamelech, 2 Kings 17:30 through 31. And the Romans worship Jupiter and Mercury, Acts chapter 14, verse 12 to 13. So the premise is that in the ancient world before atheism, meaning there is no God, people worship a pantheon of gods because they own their success and survival to them.
Thank you, Brother Mike. And that's the issue. What makes our culture so unique. In the beginning of the Hebrew class, we were talking about that. We were surrounded by other cultures. And and all these other cultures, they all practice pantheism. They had all these different pagan gods that were serving. But within the culture that the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob is serving, they worship only one God for their survival, one God for their peace and their growth. And that one makes it so interesting because we're surrounded by all these other nations that have all these different gods, but we're supposed to worship one God. But this energy of paganism doesn't go away because the chaos agents are always determined to sow and breed chaos. All right. Who can read this slide for us?
Sister Wanda, are you here? Give you another shot. Sister Wanda. All right, we're gonna come back to you, Sister Wanda, but we need to hear from you for this before this class over with. Go ahead, Sister Alethea.
Knew him. Paul says that mankind knew Yah. They knew him both empirically. What is that word?
Empirically.
Empirically.
Empirically and intrinsically, and it was confirmed by their inquiries of life. That is the construct of life and the universe, pondering upon who made it and how it was made in such a glorious manner. Thus, innately, man has concluded that there is an unseen being, an unseen force, who has created all that occupies the universe for his glory. Paul says that although they had knowledge of this unseen power and all that he created for humanity, they were ungrateful for his gifts and began to imagine what he looked like, creating all types of animals and images of men to image him. Okay, Paul said that they did the unspeakable and worshiped these images. They began to accredit their livelihood to things that neither see nor hear, which Yah referred to as demons. Deuteronomy 4:28, 30, Deuteronomy 32, 15 through 17.
Thank you, sister. So Paul said, listen, everyone started realizing that, there's an unseen force that created all things that occupies the universe for his glory. But however, we started having issues. People started to create their own ideas, right? So we see to the left, we see Geppetto with Pinocchio, right? Pinocchio's a puppet, right? Can't do nothing. But to the right, we see that there's some being or some type of, they call it a fairy, one person's fairy could be another person's demon, but it's a fairy, and this fairy, this force is behind Pinocchio, right? And he becomes a so-called boy. But this works the same way in the ancient world. There's man's imagination, but then Paul goes deep and said, without the man's imagination, they're unclean, rebellious spirits, rebellious divine beings that are there to perpetrate and to lie and to manipulate and to make you think that they're gods or gods, to take you away from the Creator. Who can read this live for us, please?
Go ahead, Sister Beverly.
I was muted. I'm sorry. Who are these gods? Acts 17:29. Being.
Did you mute?
Sorry, Sister Beverly. Sorry, Sister Beverly. Unmute yourself again.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Who are these gods? Act 17:29. Being then God's offspring, we ought not to think that the divine being is like gold or silver or stone, an image formed by the art and imagination of men. Deuteronomy 32:17. They sacrifice to demons that were no gods, to gods they had never known, to new gods that had come recently, whom your fathers had never dreaded.
Thank you, Sister Beverly. So this is the issue with man. This is the biggest problem with humanity. We talked about the God who created the cosmos and the beauty of the cosmos and the earth and the sun and the moon and the lions and the tigers and the bears. But then we see that man has this bad habit of trying to create an image of this God. And we see also that in truth, a lot of these so-called images are really behind them. We call them demons or unclean spirits or the rebellious spirits, the intellectual divine beings that rebel against the Most High and his laws. So what's pagan worship of these gods look like? It looks like venerating relics. Looks like worshiping people, money, human sacrifices, sacrificing babies, right? Unclean sacrifices, participating in unclean activities, drinking blood, offering child. These are the ethics. This is what I'm saying. I'm gonna tell me about your God. I'm gonna learn about your God's ethics, and I'm gonna compare and contrast the pagan God you want me to serve with the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And I argue that these ethics that they're giving you are chaotic. These are chaotic ethics. So what happened to these gods? It seems like these gods go away, get re-switched. What happened to these gods? Someone can help us with the slide, please.
Shalom, sister.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, sister, we can hear you. How you doing?
This is Wanda. I am so sorry.
No problem, no problem. We're glad to hear from you. Is this your first week with us?
This is my first week. Yes.
Okay, okay. Well, go ahead and okay. We know your name, Wanda. Tell us where you
Yes.
from and why'd you choose Sinaitic this class?
Well, I live in Chesapeake, Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
I have been set free by listening to your YouTube channel from all this, what is the term you use? New old Christianity?
Yes, neo Christianity, absolutely.
Yeah, I've been stuck in that for over 40 years. And I was scrolling through YouTube and came up on one of the classes, and I tell you, it turned my life around. So now I got to learn and search, and I got to get this thing.
Sister, we are elated to have you in our Sinaitic Lights class, and you know we all here to learn together. So let's do it. You want to go ahead and read this slide we got up?
Yes, and I'm sorry if I interrupted without raising my hand.
No, no,
I
no,
apologize.
no. You are absolutely fine. We've been waiting to hear from you, so you're good.
Okay. So it says, what happened? Yet what happened to all these so-called gods? These gods have ceased to exist because they were not actual gods, but the imagination of men's minds. The only God that has been able to withstand the test of time from biblical antiquity has been the God known as Yah or Yahuwah. He is the God that the patriarchs revered as the Almighty God, El Shaddai.
Mm-hmm.
In Exodus, the 6th chapter, 2nd through the 3rd verse. He is the God of Adam, Seth, Noah, Abram, Moses, David, Yeshua, and the apostles, who created heaven and earth and all that dwell within them for his glory.
I love how you read that, Sister
Yes,
Wanda. That was amazing.
me
I love
too.
that.
I got
Excellent.
chills. I
I
got
got chills when
chills
you
over
read that,
here.
sister.
Yeah,
Woo!
that's what I'm talking about.
Woo! I
Yeah.
love that. All right. So these false gods, I'm going to argue, I'm going to submit to you. I can figure them out very easy, brothers and sisters. Very easy. They do opposite. Opposite of what Yah tells you to do. Yah says go left, they say go right. Yah says be humble, they say be prideful. Yah says take care of the poor, the fatherless, the widows. They say forget them, bump them, we don't care for them. This is how we can find them out. Very easy. And they follow what I call the polytheistic framework. And we've been fighting this polytheistic framework from the beginning of time. What is the polytheistic framework? The polytheistic framework is as follows, brothers and sisters. Worship any God, anyone, even yourself, but Yah. Or claim you worship Yah and add another God to that. Secondly, they lie. They lie. They lie, they lie, they lie. They are pathological liars. How do I know this? Let's go back to the beginning. Did God say you will die if you eat this fruit? You're not going to die. Not now. They lie. They lie, they lie, they lie. Number two, lawless. They're chaos. They're lawless. They don't like Yah's code of ethics. They hate Yah's code of ethics. They hate Yah's code of ethics, brothers and sisters. So studying the law, you can figure them out very easy. And because of this, they produce death in everything they do. They come to your assembly, they come to your family, they're going to kill. They're going to kill. They want to produce death. And ultimately, brothers and sisters, anything they do, anything they get a hold of, they kill and destroy like a weed. And ultimately, they want you to join them because their end was death. Their end was annihilation. So what they want you to do is to follow them to annihilation, brothers and sisters. So this is why I call the polytheistic framework, because violating the Most High's laws consistently and practicing it over and over by nature, by its design, is going to destroy you. It's going to annihilate you. So this is the framework. Study it. We're going to talk about it from time to time, all the time. This is the framework that the pagans use to trick us over and over again, is this framework. Again, worshiping other gods, lying to you, lawlessness, and then the death business. Everything they do, they kill. Everything. They don't know how to live. Remember, we went back to the beginning in Genesis chapter 1 framework. Yah wants you to live.
Right.
And I'm going to argue with you, brothers and sisters. All this life is, all the struggles we're going through, all this idea of who Yeshua, Israel, all of this is getting us back to Genesis chapter 1 for us to live, brothers and sisters. That's all we're doing right now, brothers and sisters.
Yes.
So let's see how this works. So I'm going to argue again. Here we go. Israel was in Egypt. Egypt had a lot of gods. Those gods had Egyptians, had Israel in slavery. And it was Yah who liberated Israel from slavery. So who can read this live for us, please?
Go ahead, Sister Ruby.
Okay, God delivered them. God delivered them from oppression, injustices, and disenfranchisement under the rule and tyranny of the Egyptians. If it had not been for him, the children of Israel would have ceased to exist as a people. The author of Exodus writes, "Then the Lord said, I have surely seen the affliction of my people who are in Egypt, and I have heard their cry because of their taskmasters. I know their suffering. I have come down to deliver them out of the hand of the suffering. I'm sorry. I have come down to deliver them out of the hand of the Egyptians, and to bring them up and out of the land to a good and broad land, a land flowing with milk and honey. A land flowing with milk and honey, to the place of the Canaanites and the Hades and the, I don't say these right, Amorites,
Yes.
the
Parasites.
parasites, the Hades, the
Hivites.
Hivites, and the
Jebusites.
Jebusites. And now behold, the cry of the people of Israel has come to me, and I have also seen the oppression with which the Egyptians oppressed them." Exodus 3:7-9.
Thank you, sister.
Good job.
Thank you, Sister Ruby. Sister Ruby, can you help me out for a second, Sister Ruby?
What?
The Egyptians, one could argue they were slave masters, right? Right?
Yes.
Just like what I said, that the false gods are slave masters, right? That they wanted humans to be their slaves. Right? And one could argue that the Egyptians had a pantheon of gods, right?
Okay.
Right? I'm just asking you. Right? And
right.
One could argue that Israel's identity comes from the fact that Yah delivered us from these slave masters.
Right.
So why would we want to go back to the plantation system?
I got that. We don't.
All right. Thank you, Sister Ruby. I appreciate you. So So let's go back. Let's go back again from the beginning, brothers and sisters. We're in Egypt, so the memory, the cultural identity of Israel is based on the fact that they were under oppression, under the control of these slave masters who happened to be pagans, who happened to serve other gods. And for whatever reason, their gods didn't have any laws to provide them with good judgment of the people. And it was this divine being, Yah, who formed a nation, who took a nation, adopted that nation, created a vassal contract with that nation, and to put to shame all these false gods that the Egyptians had. Because those false gods could not compare to Yah. And it's through this understanding Yisrael gets its identity, being free from the slavery of these false pagan gods and seeing the goodness of our God, Yah. The same thing we'll argue back in the Garden of Eden and the cosmos that Yah created for our goodness. This is the mindset of the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Who could read this slide for us, please?
Go ahead, Sister Crystal.
Okay. Do wonderful things. After Israel was delivered from the Egyptians, God continued to do wonderful things for Israel and the strangers that accompanied them and became part of their nation. Deuteronomy chapter 29, 10 through 15. So David says, sing to God, sing praises to his name, extol him who rides on the clouds, by his name Yah, and rejoice before him. Psalm 68 and 4, New King James Version. Why would we sing praises to Yah? Why would we worship him alone? The psalmist answers this question for us by saying, because Yah is good. Psalm 136 and 1. And we can see this goodness explicated throughout the book of Deuteronomy.
Praise Yah. So we love him because he first loved us, Sister Crystal.
Yes.
That's why we love him. He first loved us by blessing us with life. That's a blessing. That's a divine gift. He gave us divine blessings. And it's other false gods, false rebellious deities and demons that try to get us away from his divine love by trying to entice us and trying to perpetrate, trying to pretend, trying to give us another way away from his laws, his commandments, his ways. So I love this. Why do we love him? Because he's good. Yah is good.
Mm-hmm.
All right, who can read this today? Who can read this for us, please? Brother Haziel's in the house. Brother Haziel, you here, brother?
Did Haziel make it in?
I think he did.
I made it in.
Brother, oh snap!
Praise
oh
God.
snap! Man, we got a full. Oh man, brother Haziel, how you doing, brother? Good to see you again, brother.
Good to see y'all,
Praise
man.
Absolutely. Go ahead and read this slide for us, brother.
The whole commandment that I command you today, you should be careful to do, that you may live and multiply and go in and possess the land that the Lord swore to give to your fathers. And you shall remember the whole way that the Lord your God has led you these 40 years in the wilderness, that he might humble you, testing you to know what was in your heart, whether you would keep his commandments or not. And he humbled you and let you hunger and fed you with manna, which you did not know, nor did your fathers know, that he might make you know that man does not live by bread alone, but man lives by every word that comes from the mouth of the Lord. So you shall keep the commandments of Yah, your Elohim, by walking in his ways and fearing him. Deuteronomy 8, 1 through 6.
That's it, brothers and sisters. That's what Yah wants from you. We going back to Genesis. The cosmos respond to Yah. The animals respond to Yah. But human beings have the option and they don't respond to Yah. And this is what he's saying. What does he want from you? What does he want? Keep his command, and his commandments are not grievous.
Mm-mm.
He's not telling you to hop on one foot from now into sundown. He's not telling you to starve yourself for 25 for 60 days, or to go in some type of monastery and shave your head bald and deny yourself. No, just keep his code of ethics. That's all he wants. That's all he wants from you. And by doing that, you're worshiping him. Here we go. Back to Sister Myers. What she says. She says, when your time is right, he'll fill your life with love and care. Believe, and he'll be there. But who can help me with the last two lines? Who can help me with the last two lines? I need help.
Just
Who can
do
help me?
all right. Don't do no wrong.
Did she read the Bible, Brother Daniel? I think she read the Bible. The
Yeah.
most definitely in the Bible. Sister Myers reading the Bible.
Yes.
Wow. She's saying keep the commandments.
Mm-hmm.
Do right and don't do wrong.
It sounds like obedience to me.
That sounds like obedience to me too. Here we go. Micah says, he has told you, man, what is good. What does Yah require of you but to do justice, to love kindness, and to walk humbly with your God. Unlike the pagans, Yah simply requires obedience to his commandments and humility. And the beauty of the law is that it's not only for yourself, it blesses other people. Who could read these slides for us? These bullet points for us, please.
I got you. Law blesses other people. Leviticus 19:34. You shall treat the stranger who sojourns with you as the native among you, and you shall love him as yourself. For you were strangers in the land of Egypt. I am Yah your Elohim. Deuteronomy 26:12. When you have finished paying all the tithe of your produce in the third year, which is the year of tithing, giving it to the Levite, the sojourner, the fatherless, and the widow, so that they may eat within your towns and be filled. Deuteronomy 26:13. Then you shall say before Yah, your Elohim, I have removed the sacred portion out of my house, and moreover, I have given it to the Levite, the sojourner, the fatherless, and the widow, according to all your commandment that you have commanded me. I have not transgressed any of your commandments, nor have I forgotten them.
Brother Daniel, I'm confused, brother. When it says stranger, brother, can you help me? What's a stranger?
The stranger, the non-Levites, other peoples.
Other peoples?
Yes.
You mean
That's how.
you mean non-Hebrew people?
Yes.
You mean Chinese people?
All people, brother.
Do you mean white people?
All people, brother.
White people too, brother?
All people.
So this God is not even racist either?
Yah has no respect of persons, brother.
Are you sure? Because I see some brothers who claim to serve Yah talking about certain people not gonna make it to the kingdom because their ethnicity.
Yeah. Those people are unknowing, brother.
Unknowing, brother.
Spitting lies.
Spitting lies. There you go, brothers and sisters. See, Yah says, no respect of persons. No stranger should joins. Yah chose Israel as a nation of priests to save the whole entire world. So even the stranger gets it. So Yah says the stranger, the sojourner, the fatherless, the widow gets blessed by the law and the commands. In the Torah, there's blessings for them as well, right? Because Yah doesn't have respect of person. Thank you, Brother Daniel. I appreciate you. So this is why we say we're very careful when we have assemblies or people who try to make Yah to be a racist. I'm originally from New York, and when I was first introduced to this culture, some of these brothers, I stayed away from it because I said this doesn't make any sense, right? So it doesn't flow. It doesn't flow with what the Torah says. It doesn't flow with what the Torah says, trying to espouse some racist ideology. That's not the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Let's continue here. Here we go. What is worshiping Yah? Obeying the law, walking in justice, walking in love, walking in humility. In Matthew chapter 5, verse 16, in the same way, let your light shine before others so that they may see your good works and give your glory to your Father who is in heaven. So what happens, brothers and sisters, if you obey the law, they'll say, you're blessed. Brother Daniel, praise Yah. I was broke. Brother Daniel saw me in trouble. He said, Brother Nars, here's $1. I said, thank you, Brother Daniel. I appreciate you. But Yah gets the glory. And that light, brothers and sisters, I seen that light before. Brother Daniel, anyone can help me? Where we see that word, that light before? Where we seen that before? I seen that somewhere. Light. Where do we see that light? Can someone help me? Where we see that light
John
before?
1.
Huh?
John 1.
So you went to John. That was a trick question, Brother Byron. That was a trick question. Who can help me? Who can help me where we saw that light before?
Yah made the light, brother.
Genesis 1.
Genesis 1. There you go, Brother Byron. There you go. There you go. Genesis 1. That's where we saw that light. So we saw the light. Let your light shine. Let your light shine. They see your good works, see your actions, not your words. Israel known for speaking, but they see your good works and your actions, and they see you following the Torah. By you following the Torah by default, Yah gets the glory. Yah gets the glory. And we become like Bruce Leroy, letting that light shine.
Yes.
Right? Being able to be a glow for everybody.
That's the soul glow right there.
Word. That soul glow. That's the real soul glow. The real soul glow is keeping Yah's commandments.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Then we can overcome the lies of the system.
Yes.
And again, we go back to Genesis. We saw the light and we saw Yah said. We saw light, Yah said, and then it was done. Yah said, it was done. Yah said, it was done. So Yah's words and Yah are one and the same.
Mm-hmm.
We'll talk about that more later on in class. So Yah's the laws of light. This is my submission to you. Who could, Brother Daniel, can you break this down for us, please, Brother Daniel?
Yah's law is light. Proverbs 6:23. For the commandment is a lamp, and the teaching is a light.
You muted yourself, Brother Daniel.
I'm sitting over here just reading away. I'm sorry, y'all. Yah's law is light. Proverbs 6:23. For the commandment is a lamp, and the teaching a light, and the reproofs of discipline are the way of life. Psalms 119, verse 105. Your word is a lamp to my feet and a lamp to my path. Psalms 19:8. The precepts of Yah are right, rejoicing the heart. The commandment of Yah is pure, enlightening the eyes. Psalms 119, verse 130. The unfolding of your words gives light. It imparts understanding to the simple. And Isaiah 8:20. This is our mantra, y'all. To the law and to the testimony. If they do not speak according to this word, it is because there is no light is in them.
Praise Yah. This is how what we live by, brothers and sisters.
Let me read that again, brother.
Run that back. I love that.
Isaiah 8:20. To the law and to the testimony, or to the law and to the prophets. If they do not speak according to this word, it is because no light is in them.
This is and that light goes back to Yah's word.
Absolutely.
We need that light.
Absolutely.
We need that light.
Yes.
Praise Yah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I told you about the polytheistic framework. I'm gonna argue there's a monotheistic framework. And we're gonna test this framework over time. We're gonna test it. We'll see the polytheistic versus the monotheistic framework. Monotheistic framework. We worship Yah alone. That's it. Nobody else. Yah alone. One. Mono. One.
Yes.
Mono. Not two, not three, not four. Mono. One. Second, truth. Third, there's the law. A monotheistic framework, we're going to tell you the truth. The truth may hurt. We're going to tell you the truth. Third, law. We're going to keep Yah's code of ethics in its proper context.
Yes.
Keep the law. And then after that, we should see life. Remember, Yah said he created life. He created humanity. He blessed humanity. He blessed the cosmos. He said it was good. I'm going to argue, brothers and sisters, unlike the pagans that's in the death business, Yah is in the life business. And we as his ministers are in the life business too. We're in the business to redeem you back to the image that we all should have had if we were back in the Garden of Eden, if we were back in the presence of the Most High. So that's what we're getting back to, brothers and sisters. We're trying to get redemption, getting back. We fell off course. We're trying to get back.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's test this. Who could read this? Brother Daniel, read this for us, please, brother.
Absolutely. The monotheistic framework. Then Yeshua was led up by the Spirit into the wilderness to be tempted by the devil. And after fasting for 40 days and 40 nights, he was hungry. And the tempter came and said to him, "If you are the son of Elohim, command these stones to become loaves of bread." But he answered, "It is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that comes from the mouth of Elohim."
Some word, brother Daniel.
Every word that comes from
All right,
Elohim.
test him.
Then the devil took him into the holy city and set him on the pinnacle of the temple and said to him, "If you are the son of Elohim, throw yourself down, for it is written, he will command his angels concerning you, and on their hands they will bear you up, lest you strike your foot against a stone." Yeshua said to him, "Again it is written, you shall not put Yah your Elohim to the test." And the devil took him to a very high mountain and showed him all the kingdoms of the world and their glory. And he said to him, "All these I will give you if you fall down and worship me." Then Yeshua said to him, "Begone, Satan, for it is written, you shall not worship Yah your Elohim, and him only you shall serve." Let me read that part again. "Begone, Satan, for it is written, you shall worship Yah your Elohim, and him only shall you serve."
Praise Yah, brothers. Let's break this down a little deeper. So what do we see here? We see a chaos agent, the chief chaos agent himself, who they call they call Satan, or they call the adversary.
Yes.
We see here. And then what you see? First thing, Yeshua's getting tempted. Carnal, eat some bread. Eat some bread. And Yeshua comes back. When he comes back, law. It's written, man should not live by bread alone, but every word that comes out of the mouth of Yah. That's how man's supposed to live. That's a great nugget for us, brothers and sisters. But then we see something else, brothers and sisters. We see him taken to the holy city. He says, "Throw yourself down." And he says, what Hillel says, or Satan says, he says, it is written. Whoa.
Mm-hmm.
What? Daniel, Satan quoting scriptures?
Absolutely.
Quoting scriptures, brothers, out of context. And that's what they do. This is why I say they're liars. Out of context, quoting scriptures, trying to get you to do something that's according to their agenda, not Yah's agenda. That's the game, the trick that the chaos agents always use. Words without context. We're going to see it done over and over again to push their nefarious, deaf agenda. Because look, he basically wants Yahshua to commit suicide. Go kill yourself, brother. And I'm gonna give you the word. I'm gonna give you the scriptures to help you do it. This is why I say they're in the death business. But what did Yahshua do? Give him back more the Torah back.
Mm-hmm.
It is written, you should not test Yah Elohim. And now here we go. Now Hillel says, all right, let's get to the truth of the matter here, brother. Fall down and worship me. Here we go. This is why I say certain people have a God complex. Certain people, certain beings want to be God. And what does he say? He said, listen, all, Brother Daniel, did he say some?
All.
Russia, Arabia, Ghana, South Africa, America, all kingdoms belong to me. I am the boss. It's given to me. All. I just need you to do one thing. I'll give it to you. Bow down. Worship me. Worship me. Let's get to it. This is why I say the polytheistic framework. Worship anyone, anybody but Yah. And what Yahshua would come back and say, nah, brother. Nah, you should worship Yah, your Elohim, and only him you shall serve. Back to the monotheistic framework. Everyone see that, brothers and sisters? Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
All right. Who could close us out? The conclusion. Close us out.
Come on, Sister Wanda. Let us get some more of that passion from you. Sister Wanda, you still with us? Go ahead, Brother Haziel.
In conclusion, why do people worship a pantheon of gods? They're doing it to show a divine power that is higher than themselves, that they realize the limitations of their humanity, and that they could do nothing if it were not for their God. Yet there is only one true God, and that God's name is Yah. Yah predates any written record exemplifying who God is and how he desires to be worshipped and served. The record of who Yah is and what he expects in the form of worship is recorded in the Bible. It is the only complete record recorded in a theological and historical treatise revealing the name of God, expressing his likes and dislikes, and describing the rewards and benefits that will be given to those who worship and honor him through righteousness. It is the only book that reveals the consequences of disobeying his code of ethics revealed through his Torah.
Praise Yah. Thank you, brothers and sisters. Thank you so much for taking your time and listening to us today. Any questions before we go into the question part of our presentation today? Was this helpful? Any other questions, concerns, comments? Sister Wanda.
Am I working?
Yes, sister, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm sorry. I was trying to answer. I had someone ask me, why was it so important to the adversary that when he had Yahusha up on top of the mountain tempting him, why was it so important to him that Yahusha worship him?
The adversary, and we're gonna have more treaties on that later on. But the adversary wants to be like Elohim, wants to be like God.
That's what I thought. That's what I told him, because he's like the one you talked about earlier. He has the worst God complex, I think, of anyone.
I will agree with that. I will agree with that 100%. Any other questions?
Miss One.
I like to just to add on a piece to that. I thought when the sister asked the question is, I think even more so than worshiping Hallel per se, I think the mission is to get you to worship anything outside of Yah. I don't even know if it's just personal to Hallel, but then I guess it comes right back to him, because either you on or you off, right? So either you following Yah, you following Hallel. So at the end of the day, you could be worshiping a rock, but if you're not following Yah, you following Hallel by default. So
yeah, if you go to to Isaiah chapter 14, it's a complex chapter, but to just give you a little bit of 14 and 14, it's a one could argue respectfully, it's a taunt chapter, but one could argue that this is Hallel, or the devil, his desire. So chapter 14, brother Daniel, you mind reading that for us, please? Well, verse 12. Verse 12.
Okay, where you at? Again, I was sitting here reading Revelations. My bad.
Isaiah 14 and 12.
I got you.
To 14.
Isaiah 14 and 12. We're going to go ESV. Isaiah 14 and 12, ESV. How are you fallen from heaven, O day star, son of dawn? How you are cut down to the ground, you who laid the nations low. Keep going.
Yes, please.
You said in your heart, I will ascend to heaven, above the stars of Elohim. I will set my throne on high. I will set on the mount of assembly in the far reaches of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will make myself like the Most High.
There
But
you
you,
go, Sister Wanda. That's good. Verse, yeah, verse 15.
verse 15. But you
Yeah,
are brought down to Sheol, to the far reaches of the pit.
praise Yah. So, Sister Wanda, you can see this verse here. He has a God complex, and I'm going to argue respectfully that his children, his followers, all have this God complex, and it comes to the form of pride. Pride, one of the biggest things that's going to keep many people from the kingdom of heaven is pride, is not being able to subject themselves to Yah's laws and commandments.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome, sister. Brother Brian, you had a question?
Yes, sir, I do. And I was actually debating within myself if this was the forum to ask the question. It is related to this, but let me know. Um, I I would argue that the hardest or the most difficult, and it may not even be difficult to you guys, but the praise and worship that's given to Yeshua, right? Um, within the community itself. I remember you said in the beginning, like only Yah was given praise, and I mean we see it throughout the Torah, like only Him. But in the beginning specifically, you were talking about in the creation story how there was only one Yah. There's only one. I've heard the argument of one Yah was speaking and the other one was doing. Like I just heard a lot, even coming into community of truth, or what I thought was truth, and it gets kind of confusing, only because I mean it's so pervasive. Like it's just really really pervasive, and it feels like you should give Yeshua worship, but when you go through the scriptures, you just see that it's really only Yah, but it's just hard, and I'm not articulating I'm trying to be clear about it, but hopefully I guess I'm being clear, and yeah, that's it.
Brother, by the time we done with you, bro, we're going to make sure you know that Yeshua is a man, brother. Right? So I understand exactly. This is why I wanted to go back to the beginning. I wanted to show you that it was Elohim in the beginning. We didn't see no Yeshua in the beginning. We see Elohim, right? And we see creation. And I know how prevalent this ideology of Yeshua being God, and our assembly, we're masters of this theology. We'll break it down and show you where it came from over time. Just give us a moment, and we will show you without a shadow of a doubt. It's a concerted effort of the neo-Christians to get you to follow paganism. Worshiping Yeshua is another form of paganism. Because again, I brought you back to the beginning, and I said, let's go to the beginning. It says God. Even reading in Hebrew, it says Elohim, Bereshit Elohim, right? So we see no other beings outside of Yah. We see no person being attributed to creation than Yah. We've seen David quoting Yah. It's just something happens in the New Testament that make it seem, and we don't argue that if we read it in a proper light, that it's not what you think it is. If you read it in the Hebraic light, it's not what you think it is. But it make it seem with the wrong interpretation that worshipers is to go to Yeshua. We're going to argue that's blasphemy. That there's only worship, only praise, only honor is to go to Yah, and that Yeshua is nothing more than an agent of Yah, the same way that Adam was an agent of Yah. I would take it further. Yeshua is nothing more than a second Adam. First Adam failed, second Adam didn't fail. And we're gonna build that up even more in subsequent classes and subsequent texts to further build that out for you. That help for you, Byron?
Yeah, that's good, brother. Thank you.
So
Appreciate it.
I'm gonna, I want to just leave you with I want to leave you with a couple verses for you to consider, for you to think about. Brother Daniel, you mind going to Exodus chapter 20 for real quick, please?
Absolutely, brother. Exodus 20. Okay. Okay.
All right. What does it say? Verse 20 and 1.
And Elohim spoke all these words, saying, I am Yah, your Elohim, who brought you out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of slavery. You shall have no other else before me. You shall not.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
Verse 4, you shall not make for yourself a carved image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth.
All right, stop there. So, Brother Byron, how do you read that, Brother Byron? How do you understand that?
Simply put, he stands alone. He's the one who was talking to Israel at the mount, but he said that he brought them out of Egypt. And I mean, it was a singularity there. He said, I, am Yahuwah Elohim, which brought you out of there. There is no other gods before him. So, I mean, he should be venerated only as Elohim, and not to make any other gods or any mighty ones, whether you're trying to copy what you believe may be in heaven or underneath the earth or in the waters or wherever. Don't make anything from your hands, because that's not me. I am, he is who he is.
You got that 100%. And if we read in the Hebrew, what I love about the Hebrew, it also has his name, right? It's Yah. It says who it is. It doesn't say Yeshua. It doesn't say anybody. It says Yah. It's telling you who he is. I am Yah, your Elohim. And then we also have, Brother Daniel, you mind reading, brother, Geometry, Devarim, chapter 4, verse 35, please.
Repeat what you just said.
If you read it in the Hebrew part, sister, is that part?
No, what you told him to go to.
Oh, Deuteronomy.
Oh, Deuteronomy. Okay, I did. Okay.
Chapter 4, verse 35.
Okay, here we go. Deuteronomy 4 and 35. To you it was shown that you might know that Yah is Elohim. There is no other besides him.
Will you read that again, brother, please?
Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 35. To you it was shown that you might know that Yah is Elohim. There is no other besides him.
No other besides him. Yah again. So we have it again in Exodus. We have it. Mind going to Isaiah chapter 43 and 10, please.
Absolutely. Isaiah 43 and 10, ESV. You are my witnesses, declares Yah, and my servant whom I have chosen, that you may know and believe me and understand that I am he. Before me, no El was formed, nor shall there be any after me.
Awesome. Isaiah chapter 45 and 5.
Isaiah 45, verse 5 says, I am Yah, and there is no other besides me. There is no El. I equip you, though you do not know me.
Perfect. So I'm going to give you the scripture for you to think about, Brother Byron, and study and think about and meditate on. I know where this ideology that Yeshua is God comes from. I studied it myself thoroughly, and we're gonna dismantle it. But I assure you that there's no other gods but Yah Elohim only, and he has agents that represent him. The trick of the chaos agents is to make you think that the agents that represent God is God. I mean, they've been doing this from the beginning of time. That's their trick. That's their one trick. They always want you to worship the creator instead of the created. You can't see the created, but they want you to try to worship him. So we hope these verses will help you, and then we'll build upon that as we continue with the Sinaitic light journey. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Hey,
Yes, sir.
Narcissus, I'd like to give Byron just two passages that I'd like for him to consider. Byron, can you go to Matthew 16? And Danielle, I think it's Matthew 16, Danielle. You know what, Byron, I want you to read the passage and I want you to give me your thoughts. Byron, if you could read Matthew 16, verses 13 through 17 for me, please.
Okay. Now when Yeshua came,
Okay, so let me first ask you a question. You believe that Yeshua is the Mashiach. You believe that he is the son of Elohim, and you believe that Elohim has sent him to redeem us from our iniquity. Do you confess this?
I confess that. Yes, sir.
Okay, right. And you believe that Yeshua is the pinnacle of Elohim's truth. He is truth manifested in the flesh. Do you believe that?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So go ahead and read.
Okay. Now when Yeshua came into the district of Caesarea Philippi, he asked his disciples, "Who do people say that the Son of Man is?" And they said, "Some say John the Baptist, others say Elijah, and others Jeremiah or one of the prophets." He said to them, "But who do you say that I am?" Simon Peter replied, "You are the Messiah, the Son of the living Elohim."
17.
17, and Yeshua answered him, "Blessed are you, Simon Bar-Jonah, for flesh and blood has not revealed this to you, but my Father who is in heaven."
It's very important that we understand the specificity of text because that establishes our context. Yeshua asked Peter, "Who do he? Who? What's gosh? What's the construct? What am I trying to say? Who do you think I am, or who do you believe that I am?" And how did Peter respond to Yeshua?
He said, "You are the Messiah.
Okay, you are the Messiah, right?
You are the Son of Elohim."
And Son of God.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot read anything beyond that. And the reason that you cannot read anything beyond that, because Yeshua said, "Blessed are you, Simon Bar-Jonah, for flesh and blood has not revealed this to you, but my Father from heaven has revealed this to you." If you assert that Christ is God and that he is deserving of the worship that God the Father receives, then you are not embracing Yeshua's message. And you're not embracing his message because of presuppositional indoctrination and training. This is what Nars and Danielle has been talking about. We have been programmed to war against the Creator. That is our programming. And it comes from Hillel and his administration alone. It is a paganistic construct that is designed to kill, not give life. Now, I want you to go over to Luke chapter 4.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And I want you to read Luke chapter 4 and pick it up, Byron, at verses 1 through 8. And just give me your thoughts about what Yeshua says here in the final passage in verse 8.
Okay. And Yeshua, full of the Holy Spirit, returned from the Jordan and was led by the Spirit into the wilderness for 40 days, being tempted by the devil. And he ate nothing during those days. And when they were ended, he was hungry. The devil said to him, "If you are the Son of God, command this stone to become bread."
Okay, so we pay attention to every word that's spoken by an author. Hillel that says, if you are the son of God,
Mm.
if you are Ben Elohim, son of Elohim, not if you are Elohim. No one in the entirety of the Bible is referring to Yeshua as God. Even Thomas, right, in context, is not referring to Yeshua as the Almighty God or as a God cognate, so to speak, but as one of power and majesty after his resurrection. I want to go ahead and put that out there, because when we say that Yeshua is not God, the very first passage that people quote is the Gospel of John. And when they cite that passage, it's never cited in context, right? So Hillel knows Yeshua's position and role within the economy of salvation, redemption, and sovereignty, his sovereign role. And so he asks him, if you are the Son of God, not if you are God, but if you are the Son of God. So that's something I want to bring to your attention. But go ahead and read.
Okay. Verse 4. And Yeshua answered him, it is written, man shall not live by bread alone. And the devil took him up and showed him all the kingdoms of the world in a moment of time, and said to him, to you I will give all this authority and all their glory, for it has been delivered to me, and I will give it to whom I will. If you then will worship me, it will all be yours. And Yeshua answered him, it is written, you shall worship Yah your Elohim, and him only shall you serve.
What does only mean to you?
Oh, only, that's solely. That's no other. It's a very clear and discrete word. It means what it means.
Okay. And who made that statement?
Yeshua.
Yeah, okay. All right. So we're not going to add anything to what this brother said. We're not going to take anything away from what this brother has stated. Yeshua, from his own mouth, states, quoting law, that we are to only worship the Father, proskuneo lutrasis. He is the only being that we are to worship and serve. We can show Yeshua respect and reverence him as Messiah. Peter said, you are the Mashiach. So we have to say that he is the Mashiach. Peter said that you are the son of Elohim. So we have to say that he is the son of Elohim. Yeshua said that Peter was blessed because Elohim had revealed this to him. This wasn't something that he received by inductive reasoning, deductive reasoning. This is something that he received by revelation from the Father, from the Creator. To argue that Yeshua is more than this is blasphemy. Even Hillel acknowledges that Yeshua is the Son of God. So demons are not referring to him as God. His apostles are not referring to him as gods. But yet, in the neo-Christian complex, they worship him, serve him, revere him as God, and that is unbiblical. It is the fastest way to condemnation because it violates the first two commandments of the law. The very first thing that Israel did when they came out of Egypt was to bow their knee to a pagan god, a calf that they made. The Midianites were sent into Israel's camp to entice them to do what? To bend the knee to their gods. Elohim destroyed thousands. So when you look at the history of Israel, what the Most High has moved on with some degree of grace are people who violate the first two commandments. And this is what the neo-Christian complex is built to do. They are trying to get you to violate the first two commandments. And this is under the auspice of the demons who control their doctrines and their denominations. So does that provide a little bit more clarity? We're going to tease this out more over the next few months, but does this give you some type of stability? Does this give you a foundation? Does it disambiguate some of the ambiguity that has been introduced from Neo-Christendom?
Yes, sir, and just a little bit. I feel clear about it, and I felt clear about it for a while. It's just just some of the people I hold dear to me around me, like just trying to convince them. I can honestly confess I'm not necessarily equipped to
Okay, so I
argue with
want
them.
you to pause right there. Right. You are not in the business to convince anybody at this juncture. You have got to learn this culture and this faith walk, um, um, like you know the letters of the alphabet. That's a journey. That's going to require some time because you have to articulate Sinaiticism. You have to articulate Messianic Sinaiticism, um, not from an academic treatise, not from a Sinaitic composition. It has to come from the heart. It has to come from what they refer to as the soul, your being. It has to be in you and it has to flow from you. And it takes time to get to that point, good brother. Right. So I don't want you at this juncture to be concerned about convincing anybody. I want you to allow Elohim's word to convict you fully to where when you open your mouth, the word of Elohim speaks, not you. Okay?
Yeah. Okay.
Shalom.
Thank you. Thank you, Brother Daniel. It's all yours, bro, with the questions.
All right. How many questions we got? We got 26 questions today. So let me get 5 volunteers for these questions. So someone volunteer to do the first 6 for us. Sister Kenya, step right up, sister.
All righty.
All righty.
So, question number 1,
Mm-hmm.
what does worship mean? I put a condition of being worthy, dignity, glory, distinction, honor, renown, hence worthyship,
Mm-hmm.
from worthship, a state of merit or meriting a state.
Yes.
Okay. 2, what does praise mean? To express admiration of, commend, adulate, flatter.
Okay.
Number 3, why does one praise and worship lowercase God? To show gratitude, veneration for all that has been done for them.
Okay.
What passage states that no man has seen Yah at any time? That's number 4. John 1:18. Number 5, what did the apostates say happened when they stopped worshiping the Queen of Heaven? They lacked everything and were consumed by the sword and by famine.
Right.
Okay, and I got that out of Jeremiah 44:15-18. Number 6, what passage states that Yah dwells in an unapproachable light that no one can approach? 1 Timothy 6:16.
Thank you, sister. Did you enjoy this week's class?
Yes, I did. It was very enlightening.
Absolutely.
Very enlightening. Thank you so much.
Thank you as well, sister. Who wanna knock out the next 6, 7 through 12 for us? Brother James, we hadn't heard from you today, have we? Brother James, are you here? Need to hear your voice, man. Come on, you know I got
Yes,
to hear that voice today. What's going on? Shalom, brother.
shalom.
Shalom.
No, you haven't heard from me today.
Okay, well,
Um,
let's hear from you now.
all right, number 7.
Mm-hmm.
What prophet said that he only heard about Yah, but had never seen his face or heard his voice? And I said that's Job,
Yes.
Job 42:5.
There you go.
Who was the Queen of Heaven? Queen of Heaven was Ishtar.
Okay.
Who was the Queen of Heaven married to, and where does he appear in the Bible? She was married to Tammuz, who is mentioned in Ezekiel 8:14.
Yes.
Worshipping one's God in the form of offerings and praise shows their uh, somehow I look like I skipped over that. Okay, what number is that?
Number 10.
Number 10 shows their fealty and fidelity to
There
their
you go.
God.
Absolutely.
11. Who was the god of the Moabites? Name was Shemosh. And 12. Who worshipped Jupiter and Mercury? It was the Romans.
Absolutely. Absolutely, brother. Good to hear from you.
You as well. Yeah, I was on sabbatical.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, brother. We appreciate you again. Who want to knock out we're 13 through 19 for us? Whose hand? Did someone raise their hand? I can't see if they did. If so, go ahead and just jump in.
All right, 13.
Yes, sir.
True or false? All gods except for Yah are the imaginations of men's minds. That's true. 14. What was God known before he was called Yah or Yahuwah? He was revered as the Almighty God, El Shaddai,
Yes.
and also the God of Adam, Seth, Noah, Abraham, Moses, and David.
Yes.
Okay. Why does the psalmist tell us to worship God? Number 16. Because he's good.
15. I think you.
15. Oh, I skipped
Yes.
15. Oh, okay. What name did David command us to call upon? He commanded us that we call upon the name Yah.
Yes. And where was that found at?
That's found in Psalm 68.
Psalm 68 and 4. There you go.
Verse 4, I believe. Okay. The next question: why does the psalmist tell us to worship God? Because he is good.
Absolutely. All the time.
What passage states that Yah entered a covenant with strangers, non-Israelites? Therefore, the blessings and curses fall upon them as well. That's in Deuteronomy 29:10. Okay. And Moses states that once we have eaten of the land, we are to bless who? And that's Yah. Bless Yah.
Absolutely. Go and do 19 and 20 for me.
Okay. Yah listens to us if we obey him and do the things that please him.
Absolutely. Got to have that obedience. And number 20.
It says, Yah listens to those who worship him and do his will.
Absolutely. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Any nuggets from this week's class you want to touch on? Brother Odin?
Yes, I want to say, that we must remember that, to obey Yah is better than not to, it's better to obey Yah than not to, not to obey him. And that we must let our traditions, things we were taught by family generations, from the past, we must do a analysis to see, if what we were taught is true. And if it's not, then we must obey God and not doing it anymore and continue to live for him.
Absolutely, brother. Absolutely. Appreciate that. You want to go ahead and answer these last 6 for us? Brother, you still here? Okay. Can y'all still hear me? Just had to do some muting there.
No, I can hear you. We can hear you, bro.
Can we get a volunteer for these last 6? Sister Wanda, are you still with us?
I am with you, but I didn't find the questions until tonight.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay. Well, we'll make sure you get them in next week. Sister,
Thank you.
why I got
I'll
you
be
on,
prepared.
absolutely. Why I got you on the line, if you would take down this number and give our Moray a call tomorrow, if you would. He just had a question for you. Do you know the number
All
to
right.
our tabernacle?
I do. I actually spoke to the Moriah the other day when I called, and he was the one that helped me to even get into the classroom and register. He
Okay,
answered when I called, and then
absolutely.
he directed me to someone else. But yes,
Yes,
I will definitely give him a call.
yeah. Give him a call tomorrow. He'll definitely answer again for you, sister. And it
Thank
was a
you so
pleasure.
much.
Yeah, absolutely, it was a pleasure to have you in the class. We appreciate your energy, just like everybody's energy. So we would definitely love to have you back next week and for the rest of the course, sister. So we'll see you next week.
I am just so disappointed what I missed, but I'm excited about
Yeah,
what I'm about
that's
to get.
okay. That's okay. We're about to catch you up. We're gonna get this work, as we say. So yeah, we happy to have you here.
Can I say something real quick? That young man, what is his name? Byron?
Yes, brother Byron. He's a member of the class. Yes.
Okay, I wanted to say to him, he asked a question, and trust me, out of all these people that are on with us this evening,
Hmm.
he asked a question that others didn't speak, but we surely appreciate the answer that you received because now that's going to help us that did not speak up. Thank you so much.
Absolutely, sister. Absolutely. That's why we're here for all of us. For all of us to be edified. Sister Kenya, you wanna close us out with 21 through 26?
Sure, I can do that.
Thank you, sister.
Okay. 21.
Hmm.
Okay, so 21. Okay, so it says true or false. The worship that Yah seeks is merely being obedient to his commands. I put true.
Absolutely.
22. What is better to Yah than a sacrifice? Worship.
Obedience.
Ha. Right.
I know that's right.
Worship. Right. Worshiping him through obedience of his commands, right?
Yes, absolutely.
That's
20,
right.
23. What does the Bible define as the truth? I saw Torah
Hmm.
or the word of Yah.
Yes, absolutely.
24. What is spiritual worship being contrasted with in John 4:21 and 24? I put truthful worship, so spirit and truth,
Okay, the question
sort of.
here is okay, but the question is, what is it being contrasted with? He's saying we're gonna have to worship him in
Untrue.
the spirit and in truth, but what is that being
So,
contrasted with?
so what would be like the difference?
Right.
Let me go back to. Um, I mean, other than the opposite of untruth, I mean, unspiritual. I mean, I guess that could be a contrast. Let me see.
Okay. What did
I want to
someone
see what the actual text.
what
Anybody?
did anybody else
Let me see.
get something different there? 421.
Mhm.
Go right ahead.
24.
Okay, so I have worship the Father in spirit and truth.
Mm-hmm. Right.
That's that's what she said, right?
Yes, that's what she said.
Something similar.
Right.
Okay.
Well,
So,
let's look at
but
the
it's
question.
Let me see.
okay. What is the spiritual worship
Being
It's the
being contrasted
contrasted with.
contrast.
So, like she
in
said,
John 4?
yes, what's the opposite
Okay.
of that spirit and truth of worshiping Him in spirit and truth?
Okay.
Hmm.
So worshiping what you don't know.
Okay. Anybody else?
Okay.
Who is that? Go ahead. I heard someone
Oh,
chime in.
Yeah, it was me, brother.
Go ahead, brother.
is it human effort?
Yeah, in a way, it is human effort, but
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say like carnal worship. So anything
Mm-hmm.
like carnal or physical worship, because she was talking about like going to a mountain and
Mm-hmm.
going to specific places. So like just anything carnal that's not
Yes.
spiritual or
Yes.
of truth.
Idolatrous
Mhm.
worship, false worship. There you go.
Idolatry.
There you
Hmm.
go. There you go. Okay, sister, go ahead.
Hmm. Okay. 25 says, "What food must man digest to live and demonstrate absolute worship to Yah?" I put by every word
That's
that
right.
comes from the mouth of Yah, so his word.
Mm-hmm.
And then 26, true or false, Yahshua introduces himself into the equation of worship, and I would say false.
Absolutely. Yeah, it was
Hmm.
like we just read it. We just read it.
Yeah,
He said, worship Yah and Yah alone shall you worship.
right.
Good job, sister. I appreciate that. Good job to everybody.
Wonderful work, everyone. Thank you so much for staying with us and being engaged. We appreciate everyone. Any last questions or concern or comments before we end with prayer? Sister Beverly? Sister Beverly?
Sorry. Yeah, I would just want to send congratulations to Sister Alethea's daughter that she's going to be acknowledged in her on her job for Employee of the Year. She had put that post up earlier. I
Okay.
just want to send a shout out to her daughter.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We appreciate that.
Thank you.
Yes.
You're
Tell your daughter
welcome.
congratulations from all of us here, Sister Alethea.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you for putting that out there, Sister Wanda.
Sister Ruby, you had a question?
Yeah, I was just, it's not a question. I just want to say thank you so much for going over some of the stuff. I was stuck in the same boat with Byron, but he was saying I was having problems with that, and I like the references you gave to look at to get more clarity of it because I deal with that a lot too. So I appreciate that. Good
Praise Yah.
class.
Praise Yah.
Good class. I have a
Good
lot to
job.
learn.
Praise Yah indeed. We all do,
We
sister.
all do.
Yes. That's why we here. That is why we
Yeah.
here to learn. Praise Yah.
So yeah. So I'm just open to receiving.
Mm-hmm.
Amen.
Yep, yep, yep.
All right, Brother Daniel's all yours, brother.
All right, we're gonna close out with prayer, and afterwards we'll see y'all next week, same time. And just once again, I appreciate everyone's energy today, and had a great time, a great learning experience. So with that being said, we'll go ahead and close out with prayer. Holy and merciful Father Yah, it's in the name of your Son, Yeshua HaMashiach, ben Dawid, that we come to you this day, Yah. First and foremost, just humbly thanking you just for allowing us the breath of life to be here with each other in this group, Yah. We thank you for your blessings and your mercies. We thank you for this life. Only through your grace that we are just here able to breathe and to listen and to learn with open ears, Yah, and be acceptable to your word. So we just praise you for that, Yah. We ask you forgiveness for any missteps we have made against you and fallen short of your expectations of us, Yah. We ask you intercessory prayer for our elders, for our Sinaitic Lights family, for our Sinaitic family, even our Adamic families, Yah, that they can learn what we're learning, how to better image you, how to serve you in righteousness, Yah. So we just thank you for that opportunity to be here and learning from each other. With that being said, Yah, we ask you these prayers and petitions in the name of your Son, Yeshua HaMashiach ben Dawid, and in his name we do pray. Amen.